should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already... A large table with two huge... You snatch up the red plastic card. It features a black contour of a crane lifting a... The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up.
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago. I'm a nighthawk.
Odd. There's a little meanness in that smile.
Oh, okay. Thanks for keeping me in the know, sir.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone,
I have something here we could sell.
transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
A vanity he wouldn't mind.
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. That they are. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
As I said, they are useless anyway.
But thank you. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Yes, guess what's yours? Yes, sorry, cop. The huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, Liquid Shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, no you don't. Come on, you'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin. Wow, okay, fuck off.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here? The pawn shop is always open.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward, a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth There's a prescription. I can't read.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting.
I've had to take it. You know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. So much disappointment and early death. No one's ever.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor. I like the theory more than the story. Outward move.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
He shakes his head, slowly.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them?
No one was defrauded or jumped. Are you sure?
Of course. I meant no of.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill.
The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Well? Great, thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure.
I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Absolutely.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit. Your body is ready, sire. This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM? I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough. The body is still hanging from that tree, which is unfortunate. And there's still...
He is not particularly satisfied with your progress, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. We didn't get to meet Eva Claire, but we did get into the harbor. We tried to interview the White Palms rep, but she asked us to... I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation is. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that...
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age, and in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal. Yes.
He says it matter-of-factly. He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. A self-contained past event.
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courant and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is and the moral intern more broadly, but yes.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different in land, in Jamrock, in the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our life.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger.
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS. What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just a historic figure, the author of the modern age. You will have to look elsewhere for the moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
yes, I did when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad. But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That do you? We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go. Yes?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch, and then sleep doesn't come. And then sleep doesn't come. Obviously, maybe it's the bed's fault. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps, smells of alcohol and sweat, and it barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelid.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth? You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This'll be the last thing you did. That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours? They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of you failed Elysium. Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. No, Harry. You were just talking to your... You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Stinky boy. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and act. You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is...
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind... Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Yes, wait till you see the one with the chick in it. It's gonna be a good one. You feel even worse this morning than you don't know. You don't know? Some broad that messed you up. It'll come to you. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be... It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of... Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week? Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired. Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See?
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. Everything points to the dock workers union. The belt used for which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately.
Good. A power move. Purpose. Yeah, streetwise. But aren't you curious to know?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and he looks up at you. Then, shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. The mention of mañana gets his attention. They're friends. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then just one word. Sounds quizzical. Then he awaits your answer with his brow arched.
Borscht need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men
Vodka borscht! I love it, brata!
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. He smiles, nodding vigorously, then pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot. He smiles and nods enthusiastically and chattering away in his
Let me handle this.
You seem a little...
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
Not a muscle moves.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder, the RCM. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
It doesn't matter if you recognize...
She says nothing. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on...
Even though she has excellent control over herself, you caught her off guard. Push her some more.
You are not here to chat up the legal...
You set the pace and the topic of the... A man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
I represent the Union and these men here.
A very minor victory.
Obviously, I'm a lawyer, a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to... What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. Aggressive, you make your living enforcing violence. These...
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's. What are we going to do to you? The Union isn't going to do. If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood.
This is where. You say you're a bit.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing?
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
What, is he fucking kidding?
Hey, asshole, up here.
We are looking for Titus Hardy.
Wow. Real big dick cops.
Yeah, look at the big dick on that.
Must be something in the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to start asking your questions.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them.
So, you're not just here to swing your big dick. You're here for the pretty boy. A real...
They couldn't get him down, boss. He's still up.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Because we took it from the harbor where we did this to get...
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time. Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all? That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide what you can do right now.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night.
Known him? Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town.
By the Pines Cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she...
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of...
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe.
I can't prove it. But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNA's goddamn special for...
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there. Sang...
We couldn't believe it either. But he fucking did, right?
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers.
There's a slight unease in him, suddenly.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then...
Aren't you fucking listening?
Yeah, me and Eugene got a...
There's something odd here.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns. We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you...
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck.
Then we left him for seagull.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think?
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening?
Like what, Copper? How many people have you sent to the Shays?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
Doesn't remember them.
Ain't no use keeping a stiff catalog in your head. That's for sure.
Nothing. Your investigation.
I think we're going to stick around. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder.
Good luck with that. You've heard it.
Rent-a-cop. So that's what this is. Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
No. I's here.
He understood what you were doing. Now watch the other guys fucking...
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy Boys, you fuck with...
Yes. Falling out of line to please him. This is the...
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Use it to take a dig at his friend.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one...
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
This one knows how to keep things going. He's a hothead. But
yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Easy, fellas.
Too late. You already got a pretty good picture of these guys. You can use them. You could take another look at the tracks in the yard. See if they fit with the characters here.
Again. Just get the dead guy's autograph. Since...
Good one, Titus.
About fuck. Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again. We hang.
Didn't they take...
This is where an autopsy would come in hand.
Titus.
We over.
Then we left him.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up. Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others, but...
No.
Of course he's having trouble breathing.
Fuck off, Shanky.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
And fuck you, too, Copper. Picking on it.
His all-muscle comment wasn't sarcastic. This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night.
Like what, Copper? About fuck.
Just a moment.
She's agitated.
And there's no...
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Oh, please don't trouble yourself about me, sweet. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel. That's just it. But you have more important things to worry about. Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame. And he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed.
The lieutenant pulls out.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious. I hope I've been useful. Just some field work, sweetie, but they should have returned by now.
The water lock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, sweetie, Gary's as loyal as they come. Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Oh, sweetie, if it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night.
You're welcome.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other...
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets... Oh, you're such a dear. Thank...
Can I help you?
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right, the hardy boys in the mess hall of Whirling in Rags. 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick, is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. 5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot. But number 41. Better late than never, detective. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here. That's all? Interesting. Then one of...
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man?
Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the hop.
He regrets it the moment he says it.
No, it's not. Forget. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy boy. The one with his front teeth missing. Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat, you're right. Do you think those prints belong to him? I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. 200. This could be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift...
Maybe the carrier wanted to impress his peers, demonstrate his physical might.
Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. A week, maybe? 7 days would...
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them, then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction.
Indeed.
So far, so good. Only one...
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
There's one pair missing from the Union box. The 8th pair. I'm going to say it was our old soul. Yes, I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our...
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been? Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. What happened, man? Get your drink.
purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul. If... Ah, yes! King...
Oh, absolutely.
Cocaine? Cocainum? Sounds like our kind of king.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something a nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it...
Don't get started on that.
The Carabiner doesn't reply. No one and nothing can change this man's mind.
Right. Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. Yes. It was left by heavy... Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean... Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly, should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist whip.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
This place is the damn beachhead, son. They had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated...
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out.
Blood Ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. They lit the fire of hell. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union...
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever...
You don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
I'm sorry it had to be them. I would have preferred if they right...
This royal failure.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire. Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. I'm an old man. Don't sleep.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. It's a private matter.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would...
I'm fine, goddammit! Mind your own business! It's no one. The bus has been unmanned since
No one has been guarded?
Yes! It's...
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire...
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiners' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? She is nobody. This is
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, yes. Like I said, I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Hey. Psst. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too? So, what about all that communism you've promised to build? Word on the you keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff. Funky style, very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder, or do we get right down to it? Failure. It's about, yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat, you alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 you against the atom, the charm and the spin. Now get to work, comrade. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You can't make an snow covers the white on blue police livery of the do something important? Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Kanema looks someone has waxed it recently.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look? Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flair.
Sorry.
Lingo it up.
No. That's porno tuning. Those spinners were elegant, sleek, radiant even. What you're suggesting is porno. Porno.
The sole purpose of pornography is to stimulate one's visual sense to evoke sexual arousal. The same is true with the modifications you're proposing.
That's a negative on the porno.
No one in the history of convictions has been more sure of anything.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
Looking for something, Rond? Come to tell me to.
Went native on the chief. Let's talk about our right to work.
Knocked him out good. It's that really cool flying desperado spin kick you did, Boyadero. So, what's on your mind this time?
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic. True, I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered a little. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition,
you pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act.
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly find out for your...
Interesting.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman. The driver has adorned his space with a large metal pendant hang. The back end of the cabin has a small perch. A book with ragged edges catches your notice.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. Did you just call?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Sheriff. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that. I'm only terrifying to small children.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the big ones, the trucks? There's no women and men there. In the middle of this town, there's a...
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear it.
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. Oh, Sim.
Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state.
She's...
So he does...
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Nothing.
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best. Lomonosov's land, the Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Irmao. I already am dust.
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweep.
That's plausible. A similar reckless abandon.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
The man before you is naked.
Yes, we do. It's bad as it is. Us shooting. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno?
The buckle comes into focus in your sights.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss. Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck?
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. You missed the belt, but hit the corpse.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry. I knew it. What a mulko.
The armistice is sufficiently precise, officer. Especially at close range.
It's not the gun's fault you can't.
Pigs don't have hands.
Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
That's preposterous.
We still need to get him down, somehow. The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. If they put him up there, they can take him down too. Hooray for us. To ask the suspects for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches.
He's a dangerous and corrupt man, and we...
Yeah? Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're...
Hello again, officers.
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What is all of this?
What world?
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the
Great bodies of water. There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was Elysium. It does. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Let's. Nothing more.
Yes, we are we are.
Yes, that means not de jure. Permit me to conclude with this, and if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I am here to help. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? On the contrary, officer. There are yet camionneurs you have not talked to. I suggest you go...
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material. Rusting control panel with several knobs. Two but Elysium on, étendre, off with a loud grind. The crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprise, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest, moving this container of...
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Before you stands a cog.
You do? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? It's a cargo container. We're not here to interact with...
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. You attempt to turn that. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some... You're back before the cargo container. A rust in control. The crane does not return to its origin.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. No trouble at all, mister. No...
Before you is a walrus of a man, seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the... I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health...
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with I, too, have convictions. One of which is that should you find yourself more amenable in the...
You're no Titan of Elysium, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you are a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the...
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence... This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch...
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you...
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear... The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape when he said, "Don't worry." He actually meant, be very worried.
I know everything, Harry. Right? It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't...
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Officer, we will deal with this later.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot them.
Mr. Dubois.
What is this Mr. Dubois, he keeps repeating.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois!
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's...
What an odd demonstration of...
Okay, enough. We are here.
Quick, here's your window. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin... Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? It was a figure of speech, Harry. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities.
That's what the hanged corpse called you.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but...
I think the odds of that are very low.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did...
Words flow like a river of honey. It's just a brown folder.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Ah, this?
I find that...
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be, well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions.
He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinez. As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real...
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your...
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy...
That means he doesn't really... A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain...
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to... One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation. Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. Harry! I have little people in my organization. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter.
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real life.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and...
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her...
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk...
Thank you for your understanding.
You too, Lieutenant. You know,
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me, but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging.
Yes, that sounds good.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines.
I'm not sure I understand. If you ask...
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and...
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary...
You want to send someone a message that the police...
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it... Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel... Just go there, unlock the door. Of course, Harry, I understand. But if that's the... Perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I really hope you do.
Yes, we both understand what you...
This may be the only way, he thinks. I won't hold it against you. In fact, we probably should reconsider later.
You might have noticed that...
Oh my! Don't take this question personally.
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs... You can find Luke down at the gates. But You already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you, now that he's back on his feet. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground. Your gun will be found, Harry.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Harry! Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you, we are working on...
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. A fantastic change of heart.
And just like that, it's happening.
Just open one little door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. See you soon, Debarger.
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but so it was. You bested me in race combat to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute.
You're so noble.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of
This is the uncomfortable result of not...
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Cool. I like men with...
You hear that? That sound?
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everard's...
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
A shrill laughter interrupts you. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sight, and what you had to do was to become a human.
Right, two, one.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and complete.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Piggo. Kuno doesn't.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination.
The fuck are the cops gonna cut his shit up?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything. An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able, usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Your station would not have a
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, copper.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not.
Damn it, this is turning. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone asleep.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. Fine. It's a 3-part form to be filled out on the scene by the detective's response. A scalpel is not always required. I hope this is one of those cases. Unfortunately, no. And hygienically? Let's not go glove hunting, please. Let's use division of labor. I perform the anatomical side, while you take notes. In your paperwork, officer, just fill out the field autopsy form.
Now they only have one.
Officer, what haven't you lost? Good. Otherwise you would only have one shoe now. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several, actually, but only if it helps move things along. Right. The autopsy form is near the end.
You find a moment as the lieutenant still. You can make out a case with a curious title. The Man with the Hole in His Head. Maybe you're imagining it, but there are some remarks in there, and they're not all negative. You're referred to as the 41st, and the 41st comes off as a moderately competent detective. It's very hard to draw conclusions. All you can make out is that he is in a hurry to solve the case.
What?
The dead man stares in silence. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
That's you.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says,
KK57 dash next NA next NA. Roughly 50.
The corpse looks ageless, like meat.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
nor does he look male.
We're still going with March 4th. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number
KK57.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more...
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosenkrantz Row. Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the... Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the brief.
See, it's...
Babrodine, yes.
The disappointment is palpable. The redhead...
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's...
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else. Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from... The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files, as the deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's... Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusion...
Fucking low velocity! You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max! Talking shit about...
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove...
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Always good to think ahead. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below.
See?
No, he ain't. You pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the hole. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now. Like a flower array. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep. A really, really bad smell is coming from there now. And some kind of crack. The lieutenant looks by, somewhat worried as you...
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck!
Told you my pig was hard.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He He sinks the cutters into the knot. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart.
Here. The rope rises to a point. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin. Above and chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen.
No! I fucking knew!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count. Last item. Hands.
His flesh is cold.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're nothing here says we should do this.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? I'm afraid we can't continue before we've gone through both the external central nervous system. I have nothing.
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh.
Yeah, jack that fucker!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the dark.
Hepatobiliary. NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there? Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Oh, so we inflicted them? You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a Kill A990 muzzleloader lot, or the incision on the thorax from a chin cutter? Neither was a team effort, and I wouldn't mention them. Muddies the water. Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries. Nothing. Just in case. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early...
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath.
Right. Next, a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say... I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What now? Now we put him in a body bag and I...
The lieutenant looks. He's thinking. You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse.
Okay. I need a little help for carrying him to the holding.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. May they rest in processing. Oh well, in another lifetime.
Continue working here. The locals, the case, or attend to your own business. I will meet you downstairs in the whirling in rags.
You're fucking kidding me. My fucking mic wasn't working this whole time? Fuck, man.
Mazovian socioeconomics.
I'm not doing all that again.
0.000% of communism has been built. Evil child murder.
Damn. Communism kinda sucks. I was hoping they would give me something cool, not make my stats go down. Why did my microphone not... Why did it not work? I don't know why. Nothing changed. I hope that's not... I hope it actually was just me being crazy. I hope that it actually was working this whole time, 'cause I'd be mad if it wasn't. Oh, I can get more info on the armor. Oh, they took the fucking car. Okay.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Anything else I
Looks
can
like
say?
the circus
Anything
went
else I can say to you?
But the clowns are still here. What are you talking about, madman? Or what? You want to be...
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she...
This person, Glenn.
Oh.
She? So there's an eighth Hardy.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
It has to be.
Sorry, boss.
Might be the gardener. Hey, what was that
I've
about?
got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything.
Even a mod? Glenn.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl.
Can I help you?
Got the 20 real?
Then
No.
why are you wasting?
I'm still really mad about the mic.
You see a heavy steel.
Nope. I have to like test it every time I fucking open up OBS. It's always fucking something. I literally had a Zoom meeting today. Perfectly fine. I don't know. Oh, you're new.
Yes? Hello? Me?
She doesn't really. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read. It is. I know you are. What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friend? Yes, but... no. Why are we still talking?
She has though. The husband is totally lost. You should.
What? Who said anything about shame? Stop talking.
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something else. Her hands move over the book covers.
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not me.
You know where they are. They're at home. Smoking.
I see. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. Nothing.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
I can get the task?
The store is open.
The woman before you.
Alright. Cool. Is there anything here about, what is it?
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to
Cockatoos?
Talk about cockatoos. There should be one upstairs, right next to the.
Shelves filled to the... Shelves full of biographies of...
I did not pay attention to what she said.
It's not strictly about crime.
Sir, I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Didn't she say that there was a cockatoo book up here?
Hello again, esteemed officer. A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
Oh, it's probably that
Shelves
locked.
filled to the brim.
That locked one. Oh well. Actually, we can go and open up that door. We have the skills. Let's go.
inconspicuous pile of
Give it to me.
because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets. It reveals no secret. An inconspicuous pile because there's a secret door hidden behind
Thank
the
you.
panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
Fucking finally. What was this on before? Oh, you know, that might have been it because my fucking power went out. Actually, no, I just said that I had a Zoom meeting today. Fucking thing. Oh, that was the next floor. This is also why I need more viewers. I need people to tell me that I have no audio.
My beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine.
Give it a little lick.
Responsible drug use. Just the faint.
Yes, we have enough to live. I have no idea how I'm gonna survive the next night. Maybe selling the clothes. Maybe I should have taken those boots. Yeah, I know you can get up there. Stop lying. Wasn't there a girl here last time? Man, I really did 2 perception level ups for that. Definitely missing something. Oh, perception does help it.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. No. Stop goofing around. No, it's not. Yes. And you found him. Didn't she repeatedly tell you? But he is missing. You heard her. The worry in her voice. Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy fool. There's no need for champagne.
else can I do? Oh, that, yeah. Honestly, I can look in there. Man, my mic wasn't on during that entire fucking interaction with the
must be it. This
slime ball that is Everard.
You still need.
Which sucks, because he's such a fucking asshole. That man nearly killed me. Weird how I have to like walk up to talk to him and I can't just yell at him.
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plane. If you have any more questions, the mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our own. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me.
Are you number 8?
Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Of course, I got you. You don't know anything. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my... What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind... The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture.
Who he is and what they're fighting for?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But we're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've made it.
Oh my god, he's such a fucking dickbag.
He's probably in his container at the harbor. So head right on it. Sure thing.
What is this? News of the world? Talk about personal stuff.
Call me Mañana. I'm just a humble harbor worker.
Not a given name for certain. It's a taken name. The kind for artists, or criminals, or rebels.
It means call me tomorrow.
I figured that.
A nom de guerre would be more like Guerra Mañana. Now that we are getting so well...
Be honest with him.
Harry. It's cool. But I'm sure you could come up with something even cooler.
Damn, I want to be Raphael so bad. Give it to me.
Your mind can only conjure up Hunk Handy, Fake Valdez, Bosco. You might want to decide to keep quiet about these.
Are you quite sure? Hold on, man. Keep it slow and steady. Don't succumb if you say so.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calm. It's time. to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
Alright, consciousness sounds
It is not
okay.
a place. It is a moment in time that in history's greatest catastrophes have been brought about. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come
No, no, again, no.
Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present.
Ah, no.
You never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. What rationality? What sang-froid? The kingdom is difficult, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. What you want is immaterial. The kingdom of...
God, everything sucks. This day sucks. We just keep getting shit. The only thing we got was communism, and communism sucks. Still have no idea how to get to the fucking roof. Mic wasn't working for like half the stream. Go to the wrong fucking place again.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned. You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. The leather upholstery is worn and rough. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around. You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, the door unlocks. The sound of the key turning still. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold.
I didn't want to do that, but I need that gun back. I don't need the folder. What else do I need? I got the guy down. Yeah, it's just a fucking gun. I can't let that gun be on the streets. Correction, I can't let my gun be on the streets. guarantee you, after the fact, he's gonna be like, okay, we got your gun, but what about your badge? The dick.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today? I don't know what that means, Harry, but I love it. I love your initiative. Knowing you're out there keeping things running lets me Don't even tell me what was going on. Alcoholic brew, stronger, stopped it, strike. I'm just gonna let you surprise me, Harry.
I hate you so much.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry.
Let me reiterate,
One question.
since my mic was muted,
To stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
the VA does a great job of making me absolutely despise this dude.
He's trying to figure out there is no way to sway this man in any direction.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the
He was testing you.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to
Is
figure
it
out
brass
who killed who
tacks?
and why.
I always thought it was
Real police work is
TAX.
gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
I hate you so much. I hate you.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flat caps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. A security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest.
He performs a motion.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yesut, Seminine, Saddam. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical, and so is the village. But the mercs and their brutality. Now, I haven't
Yeah, just keep talking, please.
witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes.
That's
I'm
kind
an
of
old man,
crazy.
Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very... But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company
You
hired,
seem like a
I think there were
psychopath.
3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. Harry,
Yeah, I've heard.
What you need to realize is, we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough, and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal mine. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of...
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you. Idealistic people who want to make sure...
Again, that sounds like...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, he probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him." I gave them 2 weeks... Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martin A's boys, tough and gritty. I'd like...
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in sediment. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company. After a little You said it, Harry. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant.
And that's also
He's
fair.
not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it will probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members. Always working to advance their position in the local... Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Harry, they're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just... But of course, it's the least I can...
You can now go and tell Titus about...
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just...
Fuck
I
you.
wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a
I
good
will
talk?
beat you with
I'm
my
not sure
2
we made much
fists.
headway here. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the...
A man of the left. So you have... He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Yeah, I'm grinding. I got $22 in my pocket. It's all about the grind. Yeah,
You're
you
saying
fucking
it, but I
corrupt
don't believe you.
bastard.
You know how it is. Company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already... On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village. They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
I don't trust this dude.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. You need to get signatures from Isabel
don't
Sadie
like it.
and Lillian Carter.
But I'm
The
sure
cul-de-sac
when I go
right
there and
once you have
see
the
some shit,
signatures, mail this to 13...
I'll make that decision then. I couldn't just walk away. I wish there was like a fast travel option, because I really don't like walking around in this game. I feel like it doesn't feel good. It doesn't really add anything to looking around the environments. I'm a crazy person who is fully in on it's okay to be a visual novel. It's okay, you don't need to have like interfaces like this where I just walk around and just keep walking and go through like 1, 2, 3, 4 loading screens just to get somewhere. Just make it a quick selection. It's not like a big deal. I feel like people are scared of that.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 4, the youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if
Oh
not
my
all,
god.
of the street and the square between the existing houses. There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 14
12 to
months, their lives will be
40
dominated
months?
by constant construction noise right next door. Once the construction starts, it will probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell... Well, you could trick Everard. Get some random people to sign the document.
That's an
By the
idea.
time the union boss finds out.
Yeah, you trying to fuck me? I'll fuck you. Like, why is it such a pain for me to go downstairs? Why is it such a pain for me to find that last fucking person for the lady driver? I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. I'm just stupid. What are you up to, girl?
Hello again, sir. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful. Oh, that's no, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the... I think she is a bad...
Hey, can you sign this?
God damn it, I already told you. My husband, very well then. Where is he? Excuse me?
There's something else hiding in her voice, though. A trace of worry.
Right, because working class women come with alcoholic
No.
husbands. You know what?
Don't say sorry. We're not saying sorry this playthrough.
You were right. I do have an...
Ha! Blam! Knew it.
I did, and he is. No, he's not. Or maybe he is. I don't know. I haven't seen him for...
There. She's worried now. She sighs, but...
Alright, go ahead. You have honestly not that different from you. Well, he's... What else? He was wearing a dark brown... It's his cool jacket. God.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket to...
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just...
Absolutely. You can't...
Can you believe it?
You can't throw away a man's cool jacket. What are you, crazy?
She's thinking about him out in the cold, in some park, or on the...
Yesterday morning, he went to the library. He went because we talked about this.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, she turns away from you in an attempt.
So you are...
She genuinely wants you to know. Don't make...
Thank you. Please do.
There, we got more stuff to do. He might be in here. Though, I mean, that would be crazy. He's just hanging out right next to her.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Yeah.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mom.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us? You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out.
Alright, I'm actually gonna end it there. I really hope that somehow my audio got saved somehow. I really hope. I do not want to lose it. Alright, well, whatever. I'll deal with whatever happened. Good night, everyone.